We're at the oldest McDonald's in operation in the whole entire world. Let's go.
Yeah, look at one hamburger or what?
Kids meal.
Kids meal, hamburger, or cheeseburger?
Hamburger.
Hamburger. Apple pie. That'd be it.
Chicken,
How much? Okay.
Hi, Lucas. What do you have right here?
Kids meal.
Just Dance. What do you have? Kids meal? Can you show me what you have?
French
You have
fries.
fries. Okay, French fries. And then what else?
Hamburger, apples, and toys.
Okay, and what do you order?
Đây là Big Mac.
Okay, then you have Big Mac,
Mama has crispy chicken,
apple pie.
apple pie, and a cookie.
Oh, okay.
And a cookie. And a cookie. Oh, look at I got a cookie for you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yay. Lucas, where are we at?
We're at the oldest McDonald's in the world.
Wow. You like the food?
Yeah.
Is the food different right here? Because it's older? You think it's different? Or same?
Oh, it's like 100-year-old. It tastes the same like 100 years ago. Oh, it tastes good.
Okay, this one is big
Big crispy chicken, Big
French
Mac,
fries, Big Mac,
apple pie,
apple pie,
Cookie.
cookie,
cookie. Lucas already eat some. It is apple.
hamburger.
And kids meal.
How many open? Apple.
Okay.
Everything tastes better at the oldest McDonald's in the world.
I'm not even gonna have cookies.
Yeah, cookie. Yum yum. Okay, let's enjoy our food and let's eat to see the oldest McDonald's hamburger. Is it different?
This tastes so good.
Now let's check out the museum. Hello, Birdie.
This is Ray Kroc. He is the guy that bought McDonald's from the McDonald's brother and became a corporation, and then eventually turned into franchise. I mean, Ray Kroc used to sell this machine. This is a milkshake machine. Before then, Ray Kroc was a milkshake salesperson. See, salesman Ray Kroc. He sells this machine that makes milkshakes. Oh, this is a French fry machine. This one slices this one slices the potato into French fry.
From 1958 to 1961, he opened over 200 new restaurants and showed no signs of slowing. Ray and his staff would scout new locations by flying over communities in the company plane looking for church steeples. Ray believed that where there were churches, there were good American families. And that's who he wanted as customers.
That becomes his method for locating his restaurants very early on. Just very gutsy, very intuitive. Now forget the scientific and the quantitative studies, just very intuitive. And once Kroc has that restaurant there, he tells the franchisee, this is how you need to operate. This is the McDonald's system that you're franchising.
Kroc and company developed a 75-page manual that outlined every aspect of running a McDonald's operation. Nothing was left to interpretation. Burgers had to be exactly 1.6 ounces, served with a quarter ounce of onion, a teaspoon of mustard, and a tablespoon of ketchup. Fries had to be cut at 9/32 of an inch thick. The manual even specified how often the restaurant needed to be cleaned. Ray wanted perfection and had no tolerance for variations by local operators.
You can't give them an inch. The organization cannot trust the individual. The individual must trust the organization. Any other way would be building on a marshy foundation that could collapse at any time.
Ray Kroc was successful because he had a formula. And as soon as you have somebody monkeying with that formula, that, I think, to Ray Kroc would be the equivalent of somebody on the Ford assembly line saying, well, I think I'll put this mirror on the car a little bit differently.
In 1961, Ray Kroc and his staff came up with a way to exercise even more control over their franchisees. In the basement of a McDonald's unit outside Chicago, they opened a training center that would eventually become Hamburger University, where students earned their degree in hamburgerology and minored in fries.
The significance of Hamburger University was to make sure people did it his way. It was like going into the army. It was like getting a GI-issued book of how to clean your rifle, how to make your bed. This was not, McDonald's was not a place for novelty and invention.
Kroc insisted that operators stick to his ironclad rules, but Ray was a rule breaker himself. He continually clashed with Dick and Mac over changes he wanted to make in their original formula. But contractually, he couldn't change anything without their written approval. This became an increasing source of frustration for Ray during his 7-year relationship with the McDonald brothers.
There was a little friction began to build up because Ray thought we had too much control over him. See, Ray was a great idea man, and he'd have one problem every 15 minutes. But some of them were not gems. So we began to have a little friction.
In 1961, Kroc decided he wanted McDonald's all to himself. He asked Dick and Mac how much it would cost to buy them out. The brothers told him they wanted $1 million each, plus enough money to cover their taxes. A total of $2.7 million. Cash.
He thought, here are these guys, they weren't doing anything to earn their cut, except they gave me the idea. And now they wanted all this money, and they wanted it in cash. I think he almost thought it was like an extortion.
I learned some new cuss words, and I broke a few windows, and I shut the door and screamed and hollered, and I said, "Pay it." And the lawyer and the accountant said, "You're crazy," and I said, "That was established many years ago."
But the deal had one last stumbling block. Kroc thought that $2.7 million included the brothers' original San Bernardino restaurant. Dick and Mac said it did not. This disagreement capped off years of Ray's long-simmering resentment toward the McDonald brothers. He confided to a longtime employee, I'm not normally a vindictive man, but this time I'm going to get those sons of bitches. And he would use their own name to do it. In December of 1961, Ray Kroc bought the rights to the McDonald Brothers formula for $2.7 million. Without the rights to their own name, Dick and Mac were forced to take down the sign above their San Bernardino restaurant and rename it the Big M. Fueled by years of frustration and anger, Kroc opened a brand new McDonald's 1 block away and drove the Big M out of business.
Kroc could be very vindictive, and he was proud of it. He considered that kind of the mark of a good salesman, that you have to be that forceful and aggressive, vindictive person. So he didn't consider that a personal flaw at all.
With Dick and Mac out of the way, Kroc set out to put his own stamp on McDonald's menu. He fancied himself a visionary when it came to developing new products, but it was never his strongest suit.
I remember one time he tried to put in McDonald's a little pastry called a kolachki, which was very popular in Chicago. Gee, I love kolachkis. The rest of the country must love kolachkis, but we tried to put those in McDonald's and it failed.
But Kroc's most memorable flop was a sandwich developed after Cincinnati's Catholic population clamored for a meatless sandwich they could eat on Fridays. In response, he introduced the hula burger.
I said, well, we'll take a slice of pineapple, and incidentally, this is a great sandwich at home, fix it up. You grill it in butter, and put a slice of cheddar cheese on top, one on the bottom, and put it on toasted bun or bread, and they call it a hula burger. And they said, I like the hula, but where's the burger?
He thinks he has this great idea that he has his pulse on American Appetite. He doesn't. He has his pulse on the American Pocketbook, but he doesn't quite get the stomach down. So he learned very early on to leave that to the franchisees.
Kroc's Cincinnati franchisee solved the meatless sandwich problem by developing the Filet-O-Fish. McDonald's now sells over 50 million pounds of fish per year. Jim Delegati in Pittsburgh developed the Big Mac, which went on to become McDonald's flagship sandwich. And Herb Peterson in Santa Barbara showed Ray a product that got McDonald's into the breakfast business.
It was all prepared for him, and we prepared some eggs McMuffin for him, and he ate 2 of them. And he said, this is great, we should do it tomorrow.
Thanks to the Egg McMuffin, breakfast now accounts for more than 20% of McDonald's U.S. sales. Ray didn't care who got the credit, as long as the idea helped McDonald's. This was especially true when it came to advertising. Even though Ray was a super salesman, he knew it was best to leave the job of public pitchman to someone else.
Kroc was many things. He was brazen, he was arrogant, he was very determined, very dedicated, but he wasn't endearing. He wasn't this nice, warm father figure, grandfather figure that would pull in the family.
McDonald's understood that when it came to feeding families, kids had the loudest voice. In 1963, franchisees in Washington, D.C. hired the man who had played Bozo on local TV to develop a clown character exclusively for McDonald's. At first, they called him Donald McDonald.
Willard Scott, who was then very thin, by the way, Willard Scott was the first then Donald McDonald. And he had a McDonald cup for a nose, and he had a 4-hole carry-out tray for a hat, and he was dressed as a clown character in McDonald colors.
You're right, kid. Hey, you didn't watch the TV fun? Especially when you got delicious McDonald's hamburgers.
The clown, soon renamed Ronald, was an instant hit with kids in the Washington, D.C. area. 3 years later, after a makeover and a wardrobe change, Ronald McDonald made his debut as the chain's national spokesman.
After McDonald's makes that decision, they go full force on this. They pull in the big advertising guns, have a media blitz, reach 4.6 million kids within a month, getting rounds facing all the networks. Big time exposure.
Hey, that's me. Pretty good likeness, wouldn't you say? When you see my face, think of your kind of place. McDonald's!
Ray knew that McDonald's image was crucial to its success and spared no expense using television commercials to position his company just the way he wanted.
The ads at McDonald's were always kind of warm and fuzzy, and I think that was a very conscious way of getting people not to think of McDonald's as the great assembly line food processor that it is. You deserve a break today. Well, isn't that nice? Thank you very much.
You deserve a break today at McDonald's.
Thanks to the power of advertising, McDonald's became an American icon. And it made sure everyone knew its formula.
I know. Okay. 2 all-beef patties.
2 all-beef patties, dressed sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and seafood.
Okay, 2 all-beef patties.
Special sauce, lettuce.
2 all-beef patties, dressed sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and seafood.
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, and cheese.
That doesn't rhyme.
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and sesame seed bun.
By 1965, Kroc had opened close to 700 restaurants in 44 states. In April of that year, McDonald's became the first fast food company ever to go public. Stock was issued at $22.50 a share. Within weeks, it climbed to $49 a share, making Ray Kroc an instant multi-millionaire.
There was a lot of excitement at the offices because, no one was that sophisticated about the stock market, including Ray. Everybody would kid him when the stock did well and it would go up some points, and somebody said, "Ray, you made $1 million today." And he used to laugh about it because he couldn't really conceive of anything of that nature.
3 years later, at a McDonald's convention, Kroc gave an after-dinner speech, telling his guests he had achieved everything he ever wanted in life except for one thing. For once, Kroc was not talking business. He was sending a message to the woman sitting next to him. The piano player from Minnesota, whose husband was now a McDonald's operator, Joan Smith. After dinner, Kroc invited a select few guests, including Joan, up to his hotel room.
I was there in the suite. He brought in a grand piano so they could play the piano, and man, he was working. He wanted to get together. Oh yes.